Welcome to Monster Monday. So, tonight we're going to be tackling Lucille Fulci's City of the Living Dead. That one right there in this Blu-ray pack. They should have made this pack City of the Living Dead, House by the Cemetery, and the Beyond, and then it could have been, the trilogy here. But I guess Blue Underground doesn't have rights to that. So you got the New York Ripper, which I reviewed on my podcast. We had a really good time there. It was a lot of really fun jokes. So check out that podcast if you want to hear my thoughts on the New York Ripper. I've already covered the Beyond in another Monster Monday. Other Fulci. Have I ever covered other Fulci? I think, yeah, I did Zombie 2 and 3. That's right. And I don't know if I've done anything else. But big Fulci fan, and I think that this is one of his best films. This is honestly nothing like I remember it. So much to the point where I'm considering that I've never seen it. I think I was getting this mixed up with a different film, like Hell of the Living Dead, which I do own back here. But yeah, this is not the movie I thought it was. But I have to say, man, I really enjoyed this. Outside of it making no fucking sense at all, outside of you just trying to put the pieces together, but that's Fulci for you. You get the same shit in the Beyond. You get the same stuff in a lot of his movies. So, looking for an explanation for these kinds of movies. I know that I just did a review on Us and how all of this stuff doesn't make any sense, and it annoyed me to the point where I couldn't like it as much as I did the first viewing. And it sounds a little hypocritical here, which I guess in a way it kind of is, but I don't know. For me, this film never, I don't know, it doesn't feel serious. Like, even though it does play out seriously, maybe it's just the time period. Maybe it's just because it's the 80s, because it's Italian cinema. I have no problem looking past things that don't make sense. But this film is like so nonsensical that I can never take it seriously. I guess with Us, there's a lot of the film that I can take very seriously and plays out very seriously. This thing just feels silly the entire time. I feel like nobody in this movie, no situation or anything is even remotely plausible. It just, all the characters, everything just seems absurd. So I don't really absolutely need an explanation. I would have liked the ending to have made more sense. I think I have an answer though for the ending of this movie. So we're gonna get there. But this one is for Diogo. You're going to one day, I know everyone's tired of me saying this, but you're going to send me a clip of you saying your name, and then I will say it right from that point on. But he asked me to cover the trilogy, and I told him that I had already done the Beyond A, and B, I can't just freaking do trilogies for people. I have a lot of stuff lined up, man. As much as I love you, buddy, I can't just take like 3-4 recommendations from one person and do it like every month or something. That's just, I can't. I legitimately can't do it. So anyway, all right. So City of the Living Dead. Now we've got a psychic. And she's in New York, and she sees this vision of a priest hanging himself in Dunwich, which is part of Lovecraftian lore here. So this film is kind of Lovecraftian, set in Lovecraft country, New England. And she sees him hang himself in this church cemetery, and this is so frightening to her, so out there, that she actually kills her. And a journalist comes to investigate this, played by the amazing Christopher George, which he was only, I mean, he made Pieces, I want to say the same year. He was dead like 3 years later, so it's a shame he had to die so shortly after this movie. I always like to see him and stuff. But so he comes in and he's investigating, and then he goes to her gravesite, and he hears her wake up in there, and she starts screaming. So what does he do? He goes and he grabs a pickaxe, and he just jams it through the coffin about an inch away from her face. Once? No. Twice? Not even close. 3 times? I think maybe 4. I said not even close with the second one, and it might be 3, so okay, I might have exaggerated on 2, but really, when you hear someone screaming in a coffin, you're gonna drive a fucking pickaxe right through where you know their head is? What a hero. Ferris Bueller, you're my hero. Like, really? That? Really? And then he rips it out and he sees her face, and she never once is like, I'm alive in here. She just keeps waiting for another one to come through, and then is so scared another one comes through. I mean, nothing, no scream outs, no like, hey, don't do that again. What was he even thinking? I know it's to heighten tension. Like, I understand what the point of it is, but as I said, you can't take anything in this film seriously. The music in this movie is amazing. It is extremely reminiscent of a couple things, namely Dawn of the Dead, the 78. Jesus Christ, I've been trying to hold that yawn back this entire time, and my body would not let me do it. I was like, I was struggling through it. You guys could hear it, but I ain't editing it. I ain't editing shit. All right, so you're just gonna have to listen to me yawn. People can fucking complain. I don't care. But yeah, Romero's Dawn of the Dead. Very similar music there, and then if not just straight up like sampled. But there's another song. It's like the second song that plays in the opening. So there's like the Dawn of the Dead music, and then there's the next song. And kudos to anyone who has any idea what the hell I'm talking about here. But an NES game, yes, the Nintendo Entertainment System, Shadowgate. It sounds so much like Shadowgate's music. God, I love that game. The game was a very big part of my childhood, and I never could beat it when I was a kid, but when I grew up, I finally looked some stuff up and figured it out, and went and bought and beat it. But it's actually sitting right over there, but I'm not getting it. I've already had enough pauses due to my yawning. I only got 2 hours of sleep last night, and it is currently 2-something in the morning. So, you know, I get my Monster Mondays and my Slasher Sundays in when I can. Hardest working man in horror biz, not me. There's people who work much harder than me, but I work. All right. And so we got this bar in Dunwich, and the mirror up on the wall just shatters all at once. And then the guy's like, oh, it's superstition. You know, there's maybe a truck drove by or something. And then his whole wall splits open, and smoke and like fog starts pouring through the walls. And the other 2 guys are like, I'm out of here. And he's like, oh man, the building's falling apart. Like, oh well, and just kind of goes back to work. Like, really? Wow, okay, this guy is willing to look past a whole hell of a lot. So, after he goes, this journalist here goes and gets this girl up from the dead, she tells him that this priest has I don't know if he accidentally did or if he did it on purpose, but he somehow opened up the gates of hell, which is one of the many alternate titles of this movie. The movie has like legitimately 50 titles, like no exaggeration. And so if they don't stop him by All Saints' Day, then all of the dead will rise on Earth. Now, because of the title, City of the Living Dead, you would think this is a zombie movie, and you would be partially correct. This is a ghost zombie movie. So they can kind of teleport in and out of sequences. Like they appear and then they disappear. Then they appear, then they disappear, and they get closer and then they're gone. And then, you know, the priest kind of morphs in and morphs out as much as he wants. Which is kind of an unfair advantage to be able to solidly morph in and then and out. Like ghosts are at least transparent. Like you can't touch them. They have no physical form. I guess with some that they can actually push you, hurt you, whatnot. But with these guys, they are full on zombies when they are there. And then they can just disappear. That's some unfair shit right there. I will say the character of Emily is very attractive. All the girls in this movie are pretty damn attractive, but I'm gonna put her at the top of the pack in this movie. And then so they meet up with this psychiatrist, and they are going to hunt down this priest's grave, and they're going to try to close the gates of hell. The fact that all these people are like willing participants, and that the journalist is in with her, it's just, yeah, as I said, it's just one of those things where you gotta be like, okay, sure. It kind of reminded me a little bit of like In the Mouth of Madness, you know, just a little bit, where it's like, we got to find this town, and you know, we got to go there, and we gotta stop the apocalypse from happening. Now they don't know that they're going to do that when John Trent leaves with Styles there, but it just has, I don't know, because there's some Lovecraftian stuff, because of them finding this kind of Lovecraftian town and whatnot. Just little similarity there. Although, hey, I do not much, but I do prefer In the Mouth of Madness. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And then we find out that the ancestors of this town were all part of the Salem witch trials. I think that's the kind of stuff they just throw in the script to make it sound ominous and to give it reason. And it's like, that doesn't really do anything. Now we're talking about witches. What was it, zombies, or is it fucking religious stuff, or like what are we at here? What are we doing here? Pick a fucking genre. You know, pick a subgenre of horror. And then the ghost priest comes into frame, right? This guy and this girl, of course, making out in the car. No nudity in this film. None. There's a girl's tit gets played with, but we don't get to see it. Weird for a Fulci movie. Weird for an Italian movie. No nudity that I remember, and I would remember. But yes, so he's looking at her. He's got some Medusa gaze where he can like kill her with his sight. And so she starts like bleeding out the eyes. It's such a cool effect. And the next time they do it, you can tell there's just a little bit of line of something right here on the eyes, and that the eyelids are a little fake right there. But the first one, I couldn't tell how they did it almost at all. I was like, whoa, that's nuts. And it's like pouring into her eyeballs. And then she just starts vomiting her intestines out of her mouth. Amazing. Just absolutely amazing. And the boyfriend's sitting there, and then a hand just comes through, grabs his head, and starts pulling his brains out. Because, you know, Italians, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Italians have no skulls in the back of their head. Just like flesh and brain. That's it. Nothing in between the two. These fucking movies, man. There's nobody ever has any skulls. They just reach into their head, just grab the skin. And then another character in this dies from having her scalp ripped off. Just like the top of her head is torn away, dead. You would not die from that. Not instantly, anyway. Absolutely not. You might go into shock. You might pass out. But that chick was dead. I can't. Fuck, man. I'm just yawning. All right. And Let's see. Oh, and then, okay, so this guy, they're on the lookout for this guy, and there's this girl, and she wants to smoke a joint with him in the back of her dad's car. The dad catches him, and he grabs the kid, and he puts him in a drill. And I'm thinking, this guy's just going to scare this kid. Like, he doesn't have any legit reason to kill this guy. He thinks he's a murderer, he thinks he's this and that, but drilling a guy through the head is probably going to put you in jail. Like, I was like, okay, he's going to stop at any moment. Oh no! He full on kills this kid. Right through his brain, out the other side. Amazing gore gag. But I'm pretty sure that guy's going to jail. And then maggots just start flying in through the window, just being like a fan. Just so much of them, like a wind turbine is throwing them all over them. Pretty funny stuff. So it's like the apocalypse, like the locust, but they're maggots. They call them worms, but look like maggots to me. Sometimes my writing, I have no idea what the hell I'm putting here. Make on dead is cool. Oh, makeup on dead, the makeup. If I put up after make, that would make sense. I just put make on dead is cool. The makeup on the dead in this is cool. I really like the makeup effects on the dead in this movie. I think, they're a little silly. They're a little, amateur. But I dig them. They're really cool. The girl's eye when she, she's under the stairs and she grabs her head and she rips her scalp off, which kills her somehow. Really love the makeup on her. Love the makeup on all the zombies. There's only like maybe 3 or 4 zombies in this whole movie. See, I thought this was a full-on zombie movie, like a zombie apocalypse, thousands of zombies kind of movie. So I don't think I've ever seen this movie, which is just bizarre to me. I always mixed it up with another movie. And then so they go down into the crypt and they're trying to find this priest. They got to stop him, and then this guy, like, he starts to make the main girls here eyes bleed, and he grabs this cross, this big wood cross, and he stakes him at the lowest part of the longest torso I've ever seen. I'm guessing they elongated his torso past where his crotch was so that he could stab him through it without hurting the guy's body. But the torso is so abnormally long. It's like, did you stab that guy in the dick? Where did you stab this guy? It would have been like his kneecap. It's hilariously elongated. I have a super long torso, but this thing is like a good 2 feet longer than I laughed out loud when I saw it. I was like, oh my God, that shit is long. Which then sets them all ablaze. And that's it. And so at the end of the movie, they see the kid, one of the kids from earlier in the movie, and he starts running towards them, and the girl just screams out, oh my God! And the screen starts to break apart as the kid runs happily towards her. Credits. And you're like, what the fuck just happened? What the fuck did I miss? And I was sitting there and I was like, did I miss something earlier in the movie? I don't understand this. And so I looked on threads, like being like, what did I miss? And people are just like, I don't know. It's the age-old question, I guess. So I'm thinking, all right. So there's 2 explanations here. Either A, they didn't stop the gates of hell from being closed. And that was like the world breaking apart. Or B, she was dead in the coffin. And so when she comes up, she's one of the zombies that has to kind of die with them, like in the Beyond. Like, she has to die. So like they're running, it's supposed to be a happy ending, the kid's running towards her and she's like, like just kind of out of nowhere. And it was like, it's surprising to us, it's surprising to him, it's surprising to everyone. Like, what the fuck's wrong with this girl? And it's just kind of like, fuck, like I'm dying. And this is her world shattering as we see on the screen. Like I have to die with the zombies because I was brought back to life. I'm one of the zombies. You would think that she would burn with them, and that would make so much sense. If she would have just like burned right then and there, or even later, it would have been like, oh, she was just a zombie. She was just one of the living dead. Like, she had to go with them. But I think that's the best guess. I think she died. I think that she was like, holy shit, like, I have to go out with the zombies. So that makes sense. Yeah. So anyway, guys, this was fun. This is a great watch. I highly recommend it. I saw it was on Prime. If you're into Italian cinema, this is some of Fulci's best work. I still much prefer The Beyond. I think that is like beyond his best film. But no, it's not like head and shoulders, but I love his fucking The Beyond. I think that movie is just absolutely incredible. And I can't say enough good about the damn movie. But yeah, what's your favorite Fulci film? I'd love to review Cat in the Brain. I want to do House by the Cemetery right here. A Lizard in Woman's Skin. Yeah, Lizard in Woman's Skin, or Don't Torture a Duckling. Like, there's a lot of Fulci films I'd like to get to. But other than that, guys, all right, have a great night. I gotta get to bed. Thank you to Diogo for recommending this, and I'll see you guys next week.